previous session, we started with XPath and XPath hierarchy, like how we can navigate from one tag to other tags using the hierarchy. Okay, I gave one exercise to practice. So in Make My Trip website, I have asked you to first locate these trains. From these trains, I have asked you to go to this preceding siblings and following siblings. Did anyone get a chance to work on that? Did anyone try that one? Okay, let's start now. First, before writing any code or before writing anything, first we need to understand what it is. So here, how the tags are arranged, that we need to understand mainly. So under this li, they have divided into div tags. So this list, under this list, they have divided this complete area into 9 divisions, 9 parts they have divided. So they have used this div tag. Under this div tag, they have used one anchor tag. This anchor tag, whenever you click on this image or this text, you will be navigated to a new page. So that page is given here. Href is equal to https://www.makemytrip.com/railways. So whenever you click on this image or this text, whatever is displayed, this complete part is managed by this anchor tag. Okay, so in this so this in under this anchor tag, it is again divided into two things. One is the image part and the other one is the span part, right? Image part and the span text part. These are the two things they have done. Okay, so now for this image they have given one style. For the text which is displayed, they have given one more style. Okay, this is how they have created this particular block. This particular block they have created. Okay, now let's understand clearly. So first tag is ul tag. Let me write it in center. This is the ul tag. Under this ul tag, there are 9 different list items. Okay, 9 different list items, LIs. Okay, and under each li, they have divided this entire place where these have been displayed. They have divided into 9 divisions. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this complete part is divided into 9 parts. So under this li, we have div tag. Okay, and under these divisions, they have created. So whenever you click on any place under this div tag, any place, wherever you place your mouse and click, it will be redirected to that particular page. So under this div tag, they have created one anchor tag. So wherever you click on this division, on this part, wherever you click, it will be navigated to that particular page. Okay, so under this a tag, this section is divided again into 2 parts. One is the image part and the other one is the display text part. So they have divided this anchor tag into 2 parts again. So first one is the image span tag, which contains the image. The other one is the span part, which contains the display text. So this is how they have created this particular section. Okay, now, as of now, we are here. We are here at the bottom of this tree, at the bottom of this hierarchy. Now, what I asked you to do, so under the trains, so suppose this is the trains. So we have located these trains. So under this li, you will have a div. Under this div, you will have one anchor tag. Under this, you will have as two span tags. One is for image, the other one is for display text. Okay. Now we are currently here. We located this trains. From this trains, what I'm asking you, so navigate to all these preceding siblings. Under this preceding siblings, go to this span tag, which contains the display text, and display this text on the console. On the output, you need to display all the text. So for all the preceding siblings, go to the preceding siblings and display this one. How you can do? As of now, currently you are here. Okay, you are here. Now you have to go to your ancestor. Ancestor means this li tag you have to go. Once you reach this li tag, you go to the preceding siblings. All the preceding siblings, you navigate like this. And once you reach the preceding sibling, you have to navigate to its descendant. So here it is ancestor. Here you have to navigate to the descendant and descendant to this span to this li, which is a span tag. And there, once you reach here, you can display the display text easily. So this is what we need to do. So from this span tag, you have to go to this li tag. From this li tag, you have to, because in between there is no connection. See, for this div tag and this div tag, there is no connection until unless you go here. Because if you go here for the preceding siblings, you can navigate it like this. In between these, for these tags, there is no connection. You have to go to this li tag and then move to preceding sibling. From the preceding sibling, you have to go to the descendant tag. This is what you have to do. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. So these are the li tags, right? So these are the li tags. So as of now, we are currently under this. One second. And here we are here. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to navigate to this ancestors li. From once we reach the ancestor li, so these all these are on the same line. If you see on the same vertical line, all these li tags are there. So once you reach here, then your task is almost done. From here, you can navigate to preceding siblings and following siblings easily. So first, let us write the XPath for this one. I think yesterday we have seen enough of examples how we can navigate to this span tag. So let me write it @ class equal to this one. And I'll use this method text equal to trains. Okay. Till here we have seen yesterday how to navigate. So how if I want to display this text on the console, this is how you will navigate. Once we reach here, I want to navigate to its ancestor tag, which is li. From this li, I want to find all the preceding siblings of it and following siblings of it. Then go to the and display the text which is displayed here. Okay. How I can go is / ancestor :li tag. Let's see how many LIs will be displayed. So only one li is there. So no need to write parameters. If with this only you are able to find one value, no need to again start this one and write the parameter. If you are not able, if you are finding multiple options, then only you can go ahead and use all those. As of now, you got only one result. So it went to this parent. So as of now, we reached the ancestor. From this ancestor, we want to find the preceding siblings. So preceding siblings we need to find. So just give / preceding -sibling :li. Sorry, I think there is some spelling mistake. Let me correct it. Yes. So there are 4 preceding siblings. First one, flights, hotels, homestays, and holiday packages. See, it is displaying 4 siblings. Okay. So once we reach the preceding siblings, we need to display this display text, right? Whatever is displayed as of now, we are still in this preceding siblings. Under this li only we are. Now we need to go to the its descendant and print the display text. So how we can do is double slash uh, descendant double colon um, span tag. You have to go to the descendant sibling whose tag is span. Whose tag is span. As there are two span tags, we need to write the attributes. So we need to differentiate among these two. So what I will do, so go to the descendant span tag whose class is equal to this one. What is the class here? Yes, this one. Task is done. If you observe carefully, it is going to the span tag only. Span tag display text only it is displaying. See. So from trains we started, from trains display text we started, we navigated to the ancestor. From ancestor we went to the preceding siblings. From preceding siblings we went to descendant and got only this display text. Okay, so this is how you can navigate. Now once if you are okay with the XPath, if you are okay with the XPath, then getting the text is so simple. Let me copy the XPath. Go to our code. So as this is returning four elements, so I'll take it in a list web element li is equal to driver dot find elements by dot xpath. This is the xpath. Okay, so it will return four elements. Let me import this list. Okay, after this, let me use for each loop. For each loop. Now, I want to get the display text, print the display text system.out.println x dot get text. So here, for a web element, if you want to get any attribute value, you can use this one. So for this attributes, let me show you. So if you want, so now you are in this tag. So for this tag, you find this web element. For this web element, if you want to use the attribute values, so if you want to use this class attribute value in your code, you can use this method, get attribute. So as of now, if you want to use the CSS value, you can use the get CSS value. If you want to get the tag name, you can get it. If you want to get the text, you can get. If you want to get the location, you can get. If you want to select the rectangular area where it is present, that you can use this method. If you want to get size and get screenshot, so whatever you want to do it, you can use that particular method. As of now, I want to get the display text. So I'll use this get text method. Okay. And now let me run the program. So before this, let me print. These are the preceding siblings of trains. Okay, let me run this program. See it printed. These are the preceding siblings of trains, which is flights, hotels, homestays, and holiday packages. The same thing you can replicate it for following siblings also. Just instead of this preceding, if you give following, you'll get all the following siblings of whatever we want. So this is how we navigate in a hierarchy. Okay, from one element you went to ancestor, sibling, following sibling you went, and you went to descendant. So this is how you can navigate. And one more thing you need to remember is for parent or child. So if you want to navigate to a particular child, see, as of now, let me be in this li, and if I want to go to this div tag, so generally what we give, child double colon div. So if you want, it is not mandatory that you need to give this child keyword by default. So if you just give li double slash div, it will go to the child. So as it is keyword is available, we are studying it, but it is not necessary that we need to use the child tag like this. By default, it will give, if you use the double slashes like this, it will understand that you need to go to the next tag, which is the child tag. Okay. So no need to use this keyword. And if you want to go to the parent, suppose you are in li and you want to go to the parent, which is ul tag, just give double slash and write parent double colon ui. Like this you can give. Okay. If there are multiple things, so generally it won't be there. If in ancestor or descendant, so ancestor or descendant, if there are multiple UIs, then you have to specifically mention by using the attributes. If there is only one, no need to mention these attributes. If there are multiple, then you have to specify by using the attributes. Okay. So this is about the parent, child, descendant, ancestor, following, preceding siblings of a particular tag that we can achieve it using the XPath. So even if you don't have any particular thing to identify a element using any of the basic tags like basic properties like ID or name or class name, if you don't have those things, you can still identify a particular element using the XPath. Is it clear, all of you? Any doubts in this part? All of you, is it clear? Shall we go to the next concept?
Okay.
So the next concept is, one second, CSS Selector. So till now we have seen XPath, how to create an XPath for a particular web element, and how we can navigate from one tag to another tag. So it is more flexible for us to navigate with simple keywords, which are in English only, English words only. So I prefer to write my own XPath. Even there are a lot of tools available in the market to generate an XPath or CSS selector, but still you should be in a position to write the XPath by your own. Okay. So because sometimes it may give you absolute path, which is not recommended to use as the XPath, right? So you try to write your own XPaths. It is simple if you practice. If you practice, you will get familiar with it, and you can write XPath for any web element in a page. Okay. Even if it is more complex also, even if you are not finding any attribute to find that particular element also, you can still get it by using the XPath. So try to practice more on this. Okay. So now we will see about the CSS selector. We have already discussed the difference between XPath and CSS selector. Both of them, we can use any one of it whenever there is no particular attribute to find that element uniquely. So in that case, we can use either XPath or CSS selector. Compared to XPath, CSS selector is more faster, because XPath will start from the top and keep on searching the elements until it finds that particular element. Whereas CSS selector, it will directly hit the element based on the parameters which we are passing here. So it will directly find that, directly tries to hit that element. Okay, so that is the reason why CSS selector is faster. But there are some drawbacks here. So in XPath, we can navigate from top to bottom and bottom to top, and from left to right and right to left. Anywhere we can navigate in this tree, in this hierarchy. But whereas in using the CSS selector, you can navigate from top to bottom anywhere, but from bottom to top, you cannot navigate. That means from parent to child or from ancestor to child, you can navigate, but you cannot navigate from descendant to parent. or from child to parent, you cannot navigate. That is the one main disadvantage of CSS selector. So in that case, we need to use the XPath. Other than that, there are more features available in CSS selector also. CSS selector will allow us to select based on styles. So there are a lot of options available. So as of now in XPath, you have only these options: parent, ancestor, descendant, preceding, following, child. But using the CSS selector, you have a lot more options. We cannot discuss all of them. I'll just give you a link in internet, so you can go through all of them if you want. So based on the requirement, you can make use of them. We will see some basic things with CSS selector in this session. Okay, so this is the syntax for CSS selector. So you no need of forward slashes or no need of @ symbol, nothing like that. You can directly start with the tag name. You can directly start with the tag name, open square bracket, attribute is equal to value. So this is the simple syntax for CSS selector. Okay, whereas for XPath, how you used to give the syntax was two forward slashes, tag name, open square bracket, @ attribute is equal to value. This is how you used to give. But whereas in CSS selector, you can no need to use this double forward slash. So just give the tag name, open square bracket. No need of this @ symbol also. Just give attribute is equal to value. This is the syntax. Okay. Now, if you want to find a particular element using the ID attribute, that too with the CSS selector. So generally the syntax would be, so with ID, generally the syntax would be tag name, ID, open square bracket, ID is equal to so and so value. This is what you need to write. But there is a shortcut for this event. So how you can use this? Tag name, hash, value, ID value. Here, hash stands for ID equal to. Hash means ID. So, suppose my tag is like this: input tag whose ID is demo or something like this. Okay. So, this is my tag name whose ID is demo. So, generally using the CSS selector, if I want to find this particular element, means how I will write: tag name is input, open square bracket, ID is equal to demo. This is how we will write. But instead of this, I can simply write input hash demo. If I write like this, the Selenium driver will understand that I need to find an input tag whose ID is demo. So this is the shortcut for it. Instead of writing like this, you can also write like this. You can also write like this. This is also valid. So that is the flexibility of CSS selector. It has a lot of shortcuts. We will discuss one by one. So for ID, you can use simply the hash symbol. So, okay. So tag name, hash, and the value of ID, if you give, it will understand it. The driver will understand that it need to find an input tag whose ID is demo. Okay. So that is the flexibility. And if you want for class, if you want to use the same thing for class, so class attribute you have, so the same input tag, this is the ID. And if it is having the class value as dummy, this is one style, and dummy one is another style. So with space, I'm differentiating it. So if this is the class and this is the tag name, how I can write generally by using the syntax, how I need to write. So tag name class is equal to value. This is how I need to write for by if I follow the syntax. Like how I can write, what is the tag name? Input class is equal to, so whatever value is there, dummy space dummy one I have to give. Otherwise, there is a shortcut for this one also. You can simply use the dot operator. Like how you can use is tag name dot class. Sorry, value 1 dot value 2. So how many values you have, that many dots you need to use. So like here for this input tag, so what is the tag name? Input Dot means class. So class means one style. So first style is dummy. So wherever you have spaces, you need to use the dot operator. So here you have the space. So you need to use one more dot, dummy one. So by writing this, the driver will understand, the driver will think that I need to find an input tag which contains styles like dummy and dummy one. So the class means that contains the styles. So multiple styles, if they are using means they will separate it with a space. So if there are any spaces in this class name, you cannot just use one dot and give that. It will not allow. So in CSS selector, how many spaces are there? That many dots you have to use. Dot operators you have to use. Okay. So that is the one thing that you need to remember. So if you are providing it like this, in the first way, traditional way, using the syntax way, you can directly use it with the spaces also. But if you are using with this dot operator, with the shortcut, if you are using, you have to use dots at every place wherever there are spaces. Wherever there are spaces, you need to replace them with dot operators like this. Okay. Now, that is the second shortcut. Dot operator will stand for class name. See, tag name dot class value 1 or dot class value 2 or dot class value 3. So you can use this for any number of values just by using the dot operator. Okay. These are the two things. Next one, this we will go next. First, we'll see these two. I'll use the same Amazon web, make my trip, or let me use the Amazon also. Okay, so inspect this element. I want to find this element whose ID is tag is input, ID is to tab search text box. Okay, so now this is ID, right? And the tag is input. So how I can use input hash this value. See, it displayed the result. It displayed the result. So no need to use all those things. If you are trying to find with ID using the CSS selector, you can use the hash symbol. So in a traditional way, if you want to use, like you want to follow the exact syntax of CSS selector, you can find it like this. Okay. So both works fine. So this is how you can use ID for finding the CSS select by using the CSS selector and ID. You can find a particular element like this. Okay. So one more thing I want to show you here. So I want to find all the tags irrespective of input tag. So I want to find all the tags whose ID is this. So I can simply ignore this one. It will show me the results of all the tags whose ID is this one. Whose ID is this one. As of now, we have only one result. So it is showing one here. So irrespective of the tag name, whatever the tag it might be, either input or div or span or whatever it might be, I want to locate all the elements in this HTML page whose ID is this one. Then no need to give anything like this. Just start with ID is equal to this one. So it will show you all the results. It will show you all the results. But in this web page, we have only one tag. So it is showing one result. The same thing if you want to do with XPath. If you want to do with XPath means, let me show you. So XPath will start with a double slash input @ID is equal to this one. This is how you will write your XPath, right? Okay, it showed one result. The same thing if you want, so you want to write your XPath in such a way that I want to find all the web elements in this page whose ID is to tab search text box. I don't want to be specific with this input tag. I want all the tags, like it can be either input or it can be a span or it can be a div or whatever it might be. I want to find all the tags whose ID is this one. In that case, just use asterisk symbol. Asterisk symbol. I think, are you able to see this symbol?
Yes.
Okay. So you can use this asterisk symbol. So it will list all the tags whose ID is to tab search checkbox. Okay. So these are the differences between XPath and CSS selector. Okay. Now the same thing if you want to use the class. Okay. Now in this class, there is one space if you observe. Nav hyphen input space nav hyphen progressive hyphen attribute. That means this tag is built based on two styles. The first one is nav input. So if you see here, this is the nav input. So for this, these are the styles that they have used. And the second one is nav hyphen progressive hyphen attribute. So if you go here, somewhere they would have written the style for that one also. So they have created some styles and given this name. If we are using it means all those styles will be applicable for this web element. So these are two different classes. If I want to find this web element using this class and CSS selector, how I can use this? Let me copy this one. Okay, just give the tag name input open square bracket class equal to this one. So there are two web elements here using these classes. This is the first one and second one. So two different web elements are using the same styles. So it resulted two different things. Okay. Now, if I want to use the shortcut of a CSS, so how I can use this? Dot. So wherever you come across the spaces, you just give the dot here. Click on enter. So still it is identifying these two elements. So these are the two shortcuts for CSS selectors for ID and for class. Okay. So let me, if you want me to write the code, I'll write a program for this one.
So for class also, if there is a spaces, we can access by using dot, right?
Yeah, that is what, see, if there are any spaces in between the class, so class value, that means they are using multiple styles. They are not stick to one style, they are using multiple styles. So for each and every, after each and every style, they are giving one space to differentiate that too. So when you are using it in CSS selector, you have to replace that spaces with dot. In the
Okay.
traditional way, no need to use it. I think I have shown you before. Let me again show that. So if you are using the syntax, if you are going through syntax wise, in that case, no need to use the space. So input, just use class equal to, like this you can use. No need to use the dot operator, simply use like this. Clear? Is that, did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. CSS selector. Let me copy these two lines. Okay. I will go with Amazon. Now, dot find element y dot CSS selector. So you have this one. So you can give your CSS selector, whichever you have written here. Control A, Control C. Okay. It will return two elements. So I need to use find elements. And okay, this is how it will find a list. I'll take it in a list. Web element. Yeah. Okay. Let me import all this. Okay. So I'll use it for each two. I'll give the tag name here. I'll try to use the tag name. So web element. So in order to differentiate this web element and this web element, let me take it as x dot get attribute. Okay. So I want to get the attribute ID attribute. Okay. So that you will get to know get attribute of ID. So whatever is the ID attribute value that will be displayed here. So let me save this one and run this. Some issues. Status. Let me close and rerun this again. Okay, it is done. Let's go here. So first ID value, the first two tags are displayed, right? So for that two tags, for the first search result, first search result, I'm printing the attribute value of ID, and for the second result also we printed it. So the ID of this attribute is ID value of this in tag is nav hyphen search hyphen submit hyphen button. So this I'm getting this attribute value and printing them in the output. Okay, so that is what we did here. So for two elements were found with this CSS selector. For those two web elements, I am getting the attribute ID and printing its value in the console. Clear, all of you? So based on your requirement, you can play with all these methods. They are already available. You just need to know which methods you need to use. There might be some requirement to get some attribute values from the UI, from the HTML page. In that case, you can use this method. So based on the attribute, you may need to do some calculations. So if you want to use that method, if you want to get that attribute values, you can use this method. Okay. So whenever you start working in the real-time project, you will get to know the importance of all these methods. So uh, you need to work on these methods whenever required. Okay. Now let's go with the next thing. With CSS selector, ID and class we have seen. The next one is substring. Substring means match prefix, suffix, and substring. Three things are there. It is similar to starts with, ends with, and contains in XPath. See, in XPath we have uh, starts with the keyword, ends with keyword, and contains. The same way, ends with in XPath is not working anymore. So we use starts with and contains in XPath. Whereas in CSS selector, we have this prefix, suffix, and substring. So these are the three different symbols that we need to use. So tag name, attribute, this is upward arrow is equal to prefix. So this means that all the tags whose attribute value is starting with this prefix. The next one is suffix. We are using the dollar symbol. So tag name attribute dollar equal to suffix. That means ending with this suffix. And substring means whether it contains this value. Okay, we will see all these three things. I have an attribute called ID whose tag is input tag. Okay, input tag whose ID is equal to, it is dynamic and it is changing. So 1, 2, 3 demo. This is the first ID. Second time when I am refreshing that page or reloading that page, the same input tag but the ID is like this, demo 456. Third time when I'm rerunning it, it is displaying some other value, 1, 2 demo 7, 8. fourth time when I'm running the same, reloaded the same page, the ID value is changing continuously. So the value of this is underscore demo 598, 596 or something like this. So the values of this ID are continuously changing. Okay. Now, how I can write my CSS selector is tag name. Tag name is input, open bracket, attribute. Attribute is ID. So if the value is fixed, I can simply use is equal to, and I can provide the value here. But the value here is continuously changing. It is dynamic. So one time, if you are loading the page, it is coming differently. But the only common thing is demo. Only common thing is demo in all these cases. So how I can do, it is not always starting with demo or not always ending with demo. It is containing demo. So in that case, I can just simply use this asterisk symbol. Asterisk means contains. Asterisk in CSS means contains. Star is equal to demo. If you give this one, it will select all the input tags whose ID contains demo. In that case, all four will be selected. We are writing the CSS selector in such a way that whatever the dynamic value it might be, it should work for all the values. So in that case, you will use this star mark. Star mark means if the ID contains this value, then go and select that web element. That is what we are instructing the WebDriver. In other case, if I want to select the IDs only starting with demo, starting with demo means you use the symbol is equal to demo. Suppose let me give the numbering. This is the first one, second one, third one, and fourth one. Okay. In this case, only second one will be selected. Second one will be selected. I'm telling the driver, go and find the input tag whose ID is starting with demo. So this symbol stands for starts with. So whenever the ID value is starting with demo, in that case only you perform certain activities. This is what we are instructing the WebDriver. So if the ID is so if you want to write such a code, such an CSS selector, you can use this symbol to write it. Okay. The third case is input ID dollar is equal to demo. Dollar means ends with. If the ID is ending with demo, in that case, you perform certain action. So ending with demo is the first case. Only in first case, whenever the ID is ending with demo, then only you perform these activities. That is what we are telling the driver. Okay, these are the three different things. This one we call it as substring or contains. This we call it as prefix. This we call it as suffix. Suffix means ending with, prefix means starting with, contains means if it at any point, at any place in the ID, if it contains demo, then you need to select that one. Okay, now we will see one example. Okay, let's see. Let's take this attribute whose name is input tag, whose I want to find the CSS selector for this, whose tag name is input and name contains field. Name attribute contains field. So how I can write the CSS selector for this? Let's see. Input name contains means asterisk symbol is equal to, if the name contains this field, you have to select all those input tags. That is what we are instructing the WebDriver. So there is only one result as of now. So there is only one input tag whose name contains field. Whose name contains field. So let's take some more examples. Okay, I'll use this ID tag instead. So this ID tag I'll use. If it contains NAV or if it contains search, I want to display all those tags. Okay, so I'll take this one because with this field I'm getting only one result, so you'll not able to get that concept. So let me take any tag, any tag whose ID contains this one. So ID means ID is equal to, we need to write star contains, right? So any tag whose ID contains search. All the tags whose ID contains search, all those results I want. So in that case, I can write like this. So there are 10 tags in this HTML page whose ID contains search. See, so there are 10 elements in this, 10 web elements in this page whose ID contains search. So in the, if you want to get the results in this way, you can use the contains, or if you want to get all the tags whose ID is starting with, for starting with, you need to use this symbol. Okay, use that symbol. And there are only two tags in this web page whose ID is starting with search. These are the two results. Okay, if you want to get the ends with, use the dollar symbol. So there are there is only one tag whose ID is ending with search, ending with search. So these are the three different things that you can do with the CSS selector: starts with, ends with, and contains. Okay. So these are the three different things that you can do with the CSS selector: match prefix, match suffix, and match substring. These are the three different symbols. And contains also you can use this way: tag name colon contains whatever text, colon. Okay. I can use this one also for contains, for substring. So instead of asterisk here, this syntax, you can use this syntax as well. So let me show you that one. So I use tag name as input, all the input tags, colon, contains. I need to use the attribute as well. Mm, Let me just correct the syntax. Mm, No, no. There is some issue in this syntax. I'll correct it and I'll post it. There is some issue. Just a minute. This for inner text. One second. Mm, Let me show you that where we can use. Just a second. I think we can use this contains for the text method which we use in Xpath. The same way we can use this contains. So just give me a second. Let me check it. Mhm. Okay, I'll get back to you on this. There is some issue with the syntax here. I'll get back to you on this one in the tomorrow session. So apart from that, if you want to use multiple properties, tag name attribute 1 is equal to attribute value 1, attribute 2 is equal to attribute value 2. So how you can use is this one, I'll get back to you. So regarding contains, I'll get back to you on that. So if you want to use multiple properties in XPath, how you used to do, you used either and or operator. So like tag name, open bracket, at the rate, attribute 1 is equal to value 1. You use and, either and or at the rate, attribute 2 is equal to value 2. This is how you used to do in XPath. The same thing, if you want to do it using the CSS selector, you just give the tag name, attribute 1 is equal to value 1, close the bracket and again open the bracket, attribute 2 is equal to value 2. This is how you have to, you can provide the multiple properties in CSS selector. See? So this is the, using the CSS selector, you can provide the multiple properties like this. Tag name, attribute 1 is equal to value 1, attribute 2 is equal to value 2. Okay. Let's go to this one. Let's go to the home page. Just select this one. This element, I want to find it. Find this element using multiple properties. So how we can do is, okay, this is the input tag whose ID is this one and class is this one, right? Or name is equal to field hyphen keywords. So if I want to do that with this using multiple properties, how I can do is input. This is the tag name. Attribute 1 ID is equal to this one. And I want to give one more field like attribute like a name is equal to field hyphen keywords. Okay. So this is how you can provide multiple properties in CSS selector, ID and name. Okay. And if you want to use, this is and operator, you can use it like this. If you want to use or operator, you can simply provide a comma. That is also available. Just a minute. Okay. So if in order to provide multiple properties, so you use like this, this will work as AND operator. If you want to do with the same, either attribute 1 is equal to value 1 or attribute 2 is equal to value 2, for that one, you need to use the comma operator. That we will see. Okay. So in CSS selector also, you can navigate in this hierarchy, but the disadvantage is you can navigate from current to descendants, but not from descendants to parent. Okay, that is one difference. This we will see in the next session. If you have any doubts till now in CSS selector, you can ask. I'll come back to you on this contains in the next session. Till now, if you have any doubts, you can ask. For the next session, what you will do is you practice in Amazon website. In Amazon website, go to the home page. Sorry, let me show you. In Amazon website, you try to find all the links you try to find in Amazon website, and the links which are valid, you try to display all the link text. The link text of all the links you try to display. Okay. So in Amazon website, if you go in the home page, you will get lot of links. Lot of links are available in header, footer, and in the body also. There are lot of links available. What you will do is you find all the links, you get all the links, and the link text you try to display. Which the links which are valid, those links you try to display the text on the console. You print the link text on the console. So this will be your practice program for the next session. We'll meet in the next session. That's all for today. If you have any doubts, you can ask.